morning everyone, welcome to a work week in New Zealand. I'm working from my sister's house this week. I'm here in her basement study office space. It's Monday for me right now in New Zealand, but for my workmates in the US it's still like Sunday afternoon. So this is a very weird situation. It feels really strange to work remotely for a US company from New Zealand because the time difference is so large that I'm actually like in the future compared to my team. But I've been making it work. I've had many early morning meetings and I've tried to shift around as much as I can to avoid that happening. But yeah, I've quite honestly been appreciating the early days because it means that I finish my day a whole lot earlier, which is very different, as you know, from my work in Spain when I am usually working until 8 p.m. in the evening. But yeah, Monday should be a pretty quiet day because there's not really gonna be anyone else online. I have my list of stuff to do today that I wrote on Friday, and it's already looking pretty long, to be honest. So I guess let's get into it and see how much I can get through. I'm home alone right now, but I'm gonna put headphones on because I think it's just gonna help me focus. Okay, I've gotten some good work done this morning, not as much as I would have hoped, but right now I'm actually running late, of course, to head into town and meet Holly for lunch. Holly is the graphic designer that we work with at ConvertKit. I've known her for a while and always like to catch up with her whenever I'm in Wellington. So let's gather our things and go do that. And I think I'm gonna also try working from a coffee shop after lunch because, I mean, that's just not something that I've been able to do for a very long time living in Spain during the pandemic. So in New Zealand, it's more of an option. So let's do that, it'll be fun. Wow, I'm so out of the habit of vlogging that I pretty much filmed nothing of meeting up with Holly. We went to Pickle and Pie for lunch, it was great, and worked for a little bit in the library, which was lovely. Now I'm gonna go meet Sammy at the bus stop and we'll head back to her house. I hope you can hear me through the mics. It is 4:55 a.m. and this is the realities of working remotely for a US company from New Zealand. Alright, I'm feeling a little bit more awake now, and now I also have a real coffee, not just these iced coffees that I bought to like just grab quickly from the fridge in the morning if it will focus. No, never mind. Meetings this morning went good. We did some planning for the Future Belongs to Creators podcast, which is one that I do over on the ConvertKit YouTube channel. I'll put a link to it up on a card because if you are interested in like side hustles and that kind of thing, I think you'll really enjoy tuning in live when we do that. We go live at 12:30 Eastern time, which is 6:30 Europe time, and it's going to be 6:30 in the morning here in New Zealand time for me next week. But yeah, we were planning out episodes for the start of the year. It's fun to do that with two of my workmates who you saw. Coming up next, I have a one-on-one with my manager. That's going to be my last meeting of the day. The last meeting of my day wrapped up by 9:30 a.m. is pretty good. So I should hopefully be able to have a good productive afternoon getting stuck into some design stuff because I found it honestly really hard to focus so far this week. But last week I had the same situation and Thursday ended up being the best day for me. So fingers crossed this Thursday as well will be a good one. Well, I had a pretty successful work day. Got lots done that I needed to. One thing that I did that's sort of been like putting off for a while is define a system, let me just show you, for our like breakpoints and grids. This is something that I know a lot of people asked me about in the past when I've done videos about our design system. Previously we used the bootstrap grid, now we're doing something a little bit different based on Tailwind, which I don't know, might mean something to some people and nothing to others. That would be Finn feeling upset. But yeah, I'll do a more in-depth video on this when we get it sorted, but this was just me outlining my thinking for the team and highlighting what might need to change. Just went to the supermarket. Now I am doing a bit of side hustle stuff and it is only like 4:30. So this whole, I don't know, I started the day really early, but it's also really nice to have finished work by like 2 p.m. and, you know, get to be doing my own thing. I got a little helper. Yeah?
There's Mama.
There's Mama. Welcome to Friday, everybody. I had 6 hours of meetings today, almost back to back from like 6 a.m. till noon. It was very exhausting for an introvert like me, even though they're Zoom calls, to just, you know, be talking to people and having to be like actively listening that whole time. I somehow managed to get my whole to-do list done today though, in like the hour after my meetings. And so that was great. Like, I am ending the week feeling like I did what I needed to for work, so that's nice. Right now, I am dealing with this mess right here because I'm packing up to head up to Auckland this weekend. Let's see if we can see you down here. My family doesn't all live in one place in New Zealand. My sister's in Wellington, my parents are in Tauranga, and my like extended family are all in Auckland. And so yeah, this weekend I'm going up, meeting my parents there. We're gonna stay with my aunt and uncle, go see my nan, maybe see a cousin, another aunt and uncle. I don't know, it's gonna be a real family focused weekend. I have to head to the airport in like probably about an hour. And so yeah, I need to pack up all this. I haven't even showered yet today because, like I said, 6 hours of meetings. Luckily in one of my meetings it was a one-on-one, and my the person on my team didn't mind me making some toast and eating it during the meeting. But yeah, whew, I'm now wondering how I managed to fit all this stuff into my suitcase on the way here. Also, I think my camera has like, well, it's had a child's hands touching the lens, and so it might be a little bit blurry, I don't know. I completely forgot to update you after that flight, but it was a very stressful time because I nearly missed it. I went to the wrong gate. There was 2 flights to Auckland leaving from Wellington Airport at the exact same time, and like an idiot I did not check the flight number. I just saw the time, the destination. I was like, that must be my flight, it's a small airport. So I went through like the wrong security because the one airline provider uses different security to the other, and so then when I realized it was like boarding that flight, which meant that my actual flight was also boarding, and I had to talk to like some of the airport workers and get them to take me back out through security and like run across the airport to the other gate. Lucky for me, because I hadn't booked on like a budget airline, I'd booked on Air New Zealand, which is like our national airline. They rang me because I checked a bag in and were like, hey, are you still planning on boarding the flight? I was like, yeah, I'm like running across the airport right now. And so they basically held the plane for me, which was very kind. I felt very sheepish getting on, but hey, we still landed in Auckland like 10 minutes early, so I don't feel too bad. I have spent the week working from my parents' house, feeling not great, honestly. Yeah, busy week of work. Also, I had my booster shot, so I was just very, very tired for the latter half of the week. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I'll be back with another week in my work life in New Zealand vlog. Hopefully I'll show you more of Wellington, more of the Mount where my parents live as well in that. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.